Right now, George is currently getting posted. We're filming Chop and we're casting for the next series, which I think is going to be a puppy.
We're going to a place where I heard there are 20 rescue homeless puppies needing homes. If we're going to a place with 20 puppies, I have to show you.
What if we did a series where we cast all of them?
Please! Yes,
Really?
I'm
Come
in.
on, not.
Oh my god, okay, I can't move.
Not
Maybe
happening.
not, this is hard.
These puppies are from multiple litters, and they get flown into this rescue from remote isolated villages throughout Alaska. I want to get to know as many of these puppies as I can. I mean, each and every one of them are incredible. But we're looking for a certain something to stick out to us for the star of this series. Oh my gosh, look at your eyes. You look ridiculous. One of the things that I look for when I'm looking at puppies, I mean, I personally love a dog that likes to play and interact with me. So far, she's ticking that box, but so little. Look at this dog. Often for a lot of people, a lower energy puppy is probably more ideal than a higher energy one. The advantage with lower energy dogs is they're more likely to just chill and give you your space and not require maybe as much attention as a higher energy dog. I just can't stop thinking about how brave that tiniest puppy was. I mean, I'm watching her. She's basically getting trampled by all of these bigger dogs, and she seems really resilient. I mean, who doesn't love an underdog? She's literally under a lot of dogs right now. So I wanted to have one more look at her. Oh my gosh, hello, hi. Oh, she's adorable. I like her energy so much. I think this would be my choice. I'm Zach George. This is my wife Bree and our dog Inertia. And this is Biscuits, the rescue dog. She's only 13 weeks old and completely untrained. I teach dogs and I teach people how to teach their dogs using the most modern dog behavior science, which shows us that using frequent corrections when training our dogs only holds us back. So I'll have to keep Biscuits loving training for maximum results in the weeks ahead. But look, just because it's more effective doesn't mean it's magic, and my plans don't always go as intended. Not only does Biscuits have to learn all of her basics, but she has to get properly socialized in order to be prepared for her new life ahead in this magical place known as Alaska. You're not going to want to miss a single episode. Subscribe and click the bell. This is Reality Dog Training, Biscuits Edition. We are picking up Biscuits, and I already know that going into this, one of my very, very top priorities is going to be getting potty training and house training under control as soon as possible. How long do you think it'll be until there's a potty accident? Really, because she's not potty trained at all?
Nope.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how much. Okay, so I have video evidence that the best intentions alone,
Are you serious?
are not enough to potty train a puppy.
God.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. The first thing I do with any new puppy is show them where to go. So we got a potty area out here for her. Gonna let her smell. By the way, you hear that wind? Here in the Alaskan Chugach Mountains, the winds can be insane. Good girl. Oh, that's a pee. Good girl. Okay. Our neighbor stopped by. We got a big windstorm coming tonight.
It might be a big one, yeah.
Oh yeah, and he dropped off some moose bones too.
Our hunting group got 2 moose.
Well, thank you. That's great. Alaska is truly a different world. I have a feeling this is going to be a very eventful first 24 hours. Biscuits appears to be a little extra reserved or even nervous upon first coming into our house. I know Inertia just adores puppies. I think it's time to give them a quick introduction to help Biscuits feel a little more at home. But I'm gonna start small. I wanna keep this first introduction nice and brief. And as expected, Inertia is very excited to meet Biscuits. But I'm still gonna remind her to be gentle and not overly playful. After all, she's had some much rougher playmates very recently with our other foster dogs. Being sweet, who's a sweet girl? But Inertia's doing wonderful. Look at her, she's being very polite. She's sniffing and then backing off, and she appears to intentionally not be overwhelming Biscuits. And Biscuits is looking a little bit more curious, and I know she's in good hands with Inertia, so I'll put her down to see how she feels. Biscuits is a little hesitant, but I think they'll open up. This is just a lot for Biscuits to take. You can see how she's up here, and that's fine for now. She's curious, but she's like, I don't know this dog, that's pretty good, you know? It's clear to me that Inertia is eager to engage in play, but Biscuits isn't quite feeling it yet. And that's natural. It is a lot to take in from Biscuits' perspective. So I'm going to put Inertia up and give Biscuits some space to let her absorb all of what's going on here. I think we're just gonna give her a little bit of time to unwind out here.
The thing is, normally you say we should attach her with a leash, but she's never worn one.
She's never worn a harness or a leash to my knowledge at all. Obviously, introducing a leash and a harness and a collar are high on my priority list, but there's a different trick in my toolbox that might actually help me get some sleep tonight too. Before we go any further, I want to teach Biscuits her very first word. Let me teach her the word yes before I introduce her to her new crate. Yes is such a great word to train a dog. Since we know positive reinforcement can be so effective, we want to find ways to say yes and follow it up with something our dog likes as often as we can. To teach her yes, all I'm doing is saying yes when she looks at me or pays attention to me in any way. The key is I'm trying to mark the exact moment she does something I like by saying the word yes. And literally every single time I say yes, I'm going to attempt to follow it up with something that Biscuits really likes. And she appears to like food. So I'll be using her meals to train her quite a bit. Yes, just because she turned in my direction is why I said yes. I gave her the treat. So you can see how this might be really powerful. If you can let your dog know what you like in really strong terms, yes, you discover that they are looking for ways to make you say yes so they can get whatever it is they're interested in. Yes! Oh, I love that she responded to that noise I made. I definitely want to mark that and reward that. And so as long as I'm consistent, it really is a good way to start building communication. I really want to minimize or even do my best to eliminate correcting where possible. I'm getting a good feeling about this girl. I think she's really getting the point with yes. I think she's gonna start to understand what that means in context. And I think we can start right now with this transformer crate. I mean, honestly, this is the most unusual, innovative crate I have ever seen in my life. I'm going slow because she's never seen this, so I wanna make sure that she doesn't get nervous of a moving part, but look at this. Crates can be an amazing way to manage your dog's environment, which is a key part of raising a dog, on one very important condition, and that is that they really enjoy the crate, that they like being in there. Look at this. Snaps up like that. Yes. Why am I saying yes? She was so brave around the door going up for the first time. This is a very straightforward exercise. To get started, I'm just going to toss some treats into her crate and encourage her to go in there. There's another door here. See how she comes right back out? Let's see if we can get her voluntarily staying in there for a little bit longer. This is fun. So you can see here, look at her overall body language. She seems interested, she's alert, her tail is up, her eyes are bright. Now I want to see if she'll go in all on her own. Yes. When she does, then I'll toss in the treat. Yes. See the hesitancy before she came out there? Yes. I want to catch her succeeding. That's what we mean by positive reinforcement. Rather than saying no, yes. When she comes out, we catch her doing the right thing and say yes right there and really try and burn it in her brain with her lunch. Let's see what happens if we go ahead and close one door. Good, yes. So I want her to get experience seeing the door close, seeing it open. All right, so she's doing a little, hey, what's this? She got a little hesitant there when I closed the door. Whenever you notice your puppy looking a little hesitant or unsure, it's really best to take the time to give them a more positive association right away. You can do that by going at your puppy's pace and not rushing them, and pairing every potentially scary experience with lots of great treats. All right, so far so good. Yes. See, I'm trying to override that instinct to come out because her desire is to come back to me and look for more food. You notice how the metal on this is diagonal? This diamond-shaped pattern isn't just for looks, though I do like the looks of it. It actually helps prevent injury to a dog's jaws or their paws. It's very clear that safety was of the utmost importance when they were designing this crate. It's not often you see a major change in the design of crates, but I think Diggs really nailed this one. If you guys want to try the crate, I'm gonna have a link below. Okay, we're getting somewhere with Biscuits crate training, but it's definitely too premature to declare victory just yet. Puppies need a lot of rest throughout the day, and Biscuits has had a pretty long day so far. So I'm gonna try to shift my strategy and use this nap to my advantage. What if we made it more inviting by putting a bed in it? What do you think? We have an extra bed lying around here. It's one fluffy bed. I like that I have the option to be able to put my hand in here to encourage her to come in like that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some beef jerky in there as well. This is dog beef jerky. Let me just let her think about it and see if she goes in there. So ideally, it would be good if she went in there, started chewing on it while I left the door open. Oh, okay, I see. It's like that, huh? Ooh, easy there. Did you hear that growling right there? We definitely need to address that. This is a high value thing to her. We'll have a lesson around that at some other point here. Good, go get it. Yeah, there she goes. See that? I'm gonna let her come right back out. So there is a chew in there. She knows it's there. My guess is she'll go back and investigate. I've got both doors open. Good girl. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit, Bree, about the crate training because I have to sleep tonight. Do you see how she's falling asleep naturally? I was thinking maybe we could, once she falls asleep, gently place her in there. This is a dog training hack that we learned with our puppy Inertia. If you can catch your puppy taking a good nap and then gently move them into their crate while they're sleeping and unconscious, you can set them up to wake up feeling comfy and relaxed inside their crate. The more literal minutes that I can have her spend in that crate while she's not feeling stressed out, the more likely it is she'll come to accept being in her crate. I don't know how to get out of here. I don't know either. Hypothesis supported so far. She's in the crate, she's sleeping. I think we go ahead and leave the door open since she's asleep anyway. So if she does wake up, she can come out. But I really just want to slowly get her comfortable spending time in there because we still have a little while until bed. And so this is a really great way to gently introduce the crate to her. I imagine she'll wake up shortly. I probably don't want her sleeping too much because I want to sleep tonight. I'm gonna sleep in the bedroom, I hope. Hopefully she'll just be like this and sleep through the night. If I can steal 8 hours overnight with her being comfortable and stress-free while she sleeps in her crate, that's 8 more hours in her cumulative bank of experience of relaxed, positive crate time. But there's one kind of major complication with my plans to have Biscuits sleep through the night. That major windstorm is still headed our way, and Alaska does not do weather in moderation at all. Even Biscuits notices that there's something very off and different about the weather. When we were here over the winter, we had a windstorm. I wasn't positive I was gonna survive.
Oh my gosh.
The glass vibrates, you can see it flexing. I might be going in that crate with her to seek refuge. So the winds are picking up out here, letting the dogs out. Watch this classic puppy fake out here. Biscuits thinks she's done with her potty break. But I'm telling you, that dog is lying to me. All done? Come on, let's go potty. Come on. Never trust a puppy. True words. You're such a little dog. Good girl. Aha, see? That pee could have been in my living room. Nice. I'm feeling pretty good about this potty training. I think it's gonna go smoothly, perfectly. We may never have a potty accident in the house at all. Biscuits doesn't have any experience with a collar or a harness yet. If I approach this too aggressively, I run the serious risk of causing her to be less trusting of me. Since I only have a few weeks with her, I must avoid as many setbacks as I possibly can. But I have to get this collar on her, I have to get this leash and harness on her, and I have to do it in a way that gets her to trust me. My goal here is to introduce her to this collar and then her harness in a way that doesn't freak her out, hopefully. All I'm doing is I'm trying to just break this down into a few steps. Yes, good. I think she might think it's a toy immediately, but don't want her biting it. Yes. Okay, all right, why can nothing go smoothly with you? It must be a foreign concept to a dog when you try to put something around their neck like this. See how she backed away there? That's not ideal. I need to probably go a little bit slower. You can see how this might be daunting. Good. Being able to touch her with it. See, just getting her comfortable with it, yes. She's free to opt out anytime, and so far she's not opting out, which is good. There's a little bit of an opt-out. When a dog opts out, that's usually a sign that we're moving too quickly, so it's important to pay attention to that kind of feedback. I think really she's backing up mainly because she's like, hey, let me grab that toy more than out of fear. Let me see what happens if I go ahead and put her whole food bowl there. Maybe that'll distract her. Oh, look at this. Hey, we did it. Yes. Good, let's see how she reacts. I definitely want to follow it up with some extra rewards. So far, so good. Gosh, she looks so good with that. But The collar is really just a thing to hold her tag on so that she can be identified if need be. So it's time for the harness. I'm just gonna let her investigate it. Yes. But I don't want her thinking it's a toy, so hopefully I can get her focused on that food before she starts picking it up. It's much safer to use a harness with a dog, especially that still pulls on the leash or if they're young, so you're not having that extra tension around their neck. We try to avoid that. Let her see it, let her smell it. Touch under her chin there, not over her head. Dogs tend to get a little bit more nervous when you come in over their head, so staying beneath their eye line. Good, yes. I'm just gonna go ahead and give her treats for every non-nervous interaction. She's scratching because there's something new and foreign on her neck. That's pretty normal. Some people might be like, come on, just put it on already. But really the main reason I'm running through these steps is I think it's a great illustration of how going seemingly slow and putting a bunch of little tiny steps in there can get you to where you want to be faster, even though it seems like, man, that would take much longer. It actually doesn't. It actually is quicker to take your time. And I'm not going to say that, oh, she's just going to love wearing her harness instantly, but we need to make a good faith effort to make sure she does. Look at that. I haven't really started former lure training with her at all, but she's, yes. She's doing quite well. There we go. Look at this. Good. And I can go up and down. I'm going to steal it while I'm here because she's doing so well. Good girl. And I'm going to continue to follow up with treats. I did go much quicker that time, didn't I? But she's, I mean, I'm just looking at her overall body language. Her tail's nice and up. She's taking treats pretty easily right now. A nervous dog doesn't always take treats. Here. So there you can see she's getting a little weirded out by it. Good job. So I will take it off just because she did start to get a little nervous there. Biting at the harness, leash, or collar like this is really common with new dogs. Puppies are curious. They're going to explore things. Wait, what are you doing? Hey. Let me see if I can divert her attention onto some new exciting toys in the aim of showing her how to properly behave here. Hey, what's this? Her natural fetch is looking great. Good. I want to keep it that way, so I'm going to play a little tug with her when she brings it to me, let her win a little bit. This is the 2-month pup box, and they know exactly what we need. This nylabone came in our pup box as well. There's still one more thing that we have to introduce to make sure we can manage her, and that is her leash. Probably the most important management tool of all. Same thing with the leash here. Just let her know it's here rather than surprise her with it. Let her feel the buckle. So she knows what that's like. She's so excited by the bone. And this is good. This is exactly where I want her when I'm training her. I want her in this like curious, happy state of mind. See, let her see it. Tap her with it. You can see she's reacting normal there, very interested in the stuff around her. We do this because some dogs will immediately freak out the second they feel tension, that they realize they're restrained. And if we can avoid that, that's only gonna work to our advantage. I've attached it to her harness here, and I'm sure we're gonna see some leash biting, but this is good. So I'm gonna let her run around with the leash attached to her, rather than guiding her immediately, getting her comfortable with it. I'm doing that to avoid tension for just a second, and then I'm going to introduce tension on the leash very delicately. Little tension there, and then I dropped it. She did well. If a dog was like, whoa, what was that? Then that would tell me, okay, slow down, Zach. So what happens here? Okay, there we go. That's her first time like running and feeling the tension of the leash right there. And she doesn't appear to be perceiving it as something that is aversive. I want her focused on me up here. This is actually technically her first leash walking lesson. And if you've got a puppy, remember Pup Box is going to send you items based on your dog's specific age, which will help keep your training on track. What really differentiates Pup Box is that they send you this really detailed training card with a ton of advice centered around your puppy every single month. And you can get 50% off your first Pup Box. I'll have a link and discount code below. Okay, so now I have possession of her. I can attach her to my belt loop or my belt if I need to while I'm around the house, or to let her drag with it. So if she does start to get away from me, she's a lot easier to get to. Or if she runs under the couch, she's still a lot easier to get to. Of course, that is something I need to be aware of. Leash biting is an inevitable part of puppyhood for a lot of puppies. So I'm just going to focus on giving her the appropriate thing to bite on. Thank you, Pup Box. And I need to do that consistently. It's not like you just do that 4 times and then your dog understands. You kind of have to do it 400 times, but they'll get it eventually. Biscuits is well rested and she's had some time to adapt. Let's give Biscuits and Inertia another chance at playing together. Oh, this might be their first time playing. Puppy is now adapted here for a good bit, and I'm letting Inertia and Biscuits have a little bit more time. Biscuits is getting a bit more brave. Good girl. Looks like she's playing with a gerbil. Good girl. I want to make sure that Inertia stays pretty low-key and mellow enough anyway. And look, Biscuits looks like she's opening up a little bit more. And I want to point out, she's free to retreat under that furniture anytime she wants to. It seems like Biscuits is feeling braver and Inertia is trying to initiate play. But it seems as though Biscuits may have found some kind of loophole. She's racing between all of our living room furniture. It's so fun to see the games that dogs come up with to play with one another. This relationship definitely looks like it's trending towards being amazing. He's sweet.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. So a little growling there. Did you hear that growl? It was potentially resource guarding. Resource guarding is where a dog protects something that they value. It could be food, it could be a bone, it could be a stick, a toy, you name it. Anything a dog values at all. It's extremely natural, particularly for puppies. I mean, look at the competitive environment that puppies come up in. And particularly Biscuits, being the smallest dog in that group, had to really assert herself. But there's a way to show dogs that they really don't need to feel so defensive. And so I'll be focused on resolving this resource guarding as we move on. I'm gonna put this up for now.
Good job, Inertia. You handled that very well.
So how are you feeling so far with this experience? We're pretty early in it. We've already had a little bit of resource guarding. She's a little hesitant of the crate, but I think she's gonna be okay. We'll see.
I just want to talk about that potty accident.
I mean, I was hoping not to have it on literally the first day. I understand the ref has reviewed the footage from the security camera?
Yeah, here's the thing. I just feel like the inner puppy parent inside of me just gave me the biggest facepalm because she woke up from a nap. Why do you take a puppy out? Because they just woke up from a nap.
It's in my book and everything.
I know. Then she walked over and drank a bunch of water.
Yep.
Why do you take a puppy out? Because they drank a bunch of water.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she came to you.
Okay.
And then me. Or me then you, maybe.
Right.
And then she peed right after that. And look, I'm not saying that she tried really hard to let us know, but I think there were some signs that we could have picked up on that we missed. And I just feel like, duh. I also am very apprehensive about tonight. This windstorm, the crate thing. I feel like you're not going to get much sleep, and I'm excited that I get to ignore that.
I think we should have you stay up with the dog one of these episodes.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah?
There's some destruction going on over here.
What? Oh, the carpet.
Yeah.
Here. Good. And I mean, that's another form of management, obviously supervision. Hey. Good. Oh, goodness. Hello. Okay, go play. So it still remains a mystery as to if I'm gonna be able to get any sleep or how tonight. She doesn't look very tired yet. One of the things that can be problematic when you bring a dog home the first night, you haven't trained them. They don't know anything yet. I kind of break it down into two categories. There's management and then there's like hands-on training if you're teaching a dog to sit or come. But we have to manage them when we can't tend to them because nobody can tend to their dog 24 hours a day. Management is just as important in many ways as training itself. Oh my goodness. All right, I can't focus. She's biting on me. Let me see those teeth. Look at those teeth, those puppy teeth. Of course, one way we can get immediate traction on the biting because she doesn't understand the concept of being redirected. She doesn't understand look at me. She doesn't know how to sit. Those are all things that I would typically try to get her to do. Another thing that I could do is actually satisfy her desire to bite as long as it's on something acceptable. What do we got here? I just gave her a chew here. I'm hanging out with her, seeing if she gets comfortable chewing it. So she's doing a lot better in there. My hope is that this will condition her to like being in here. I'm gonna be sleeping right there. You're gonna sleep downstairs again so you can get a good night's sleep? Okay, this is by far the most stressful part for me because the last thing that I want or that Biscuits wants is to be crying and stressed out all night long. But what I don't know yet is how long this is gonna last or how significant this anxiety really is. So she's a little anxious. I have a timer set right now. I'm gonna see if the anxiety subsides. The first night it's to be expected, but we've just let her out. She's had exercise. So I'm gonna try for a few minutes at a time. If she doesn't settle down, then what? Okay, all right. She's feeling anxious here, but that's understandable. All right, We're gonna chill for a second. I'm gonna try and put her at ease. I mean, I'm trying to see things from her perspective, right? As best as you can. Hey, sweet girl. Hello. How are you? She's had a lot change in the last several hours. She was just around dogs and all she's really ever known. Here she is with these people she doesn't know. You're not gonna have free reign all over the bed. Not happening. I think I'm gonna try to get her quiet, get her sleeping here, and then maybe place her in the crate later on when she falls asleep and relaxes. So I don't know what the rules are gonna be at her new place, wherever she ends up. So I wanna make sure she's comfortable, but at the same time, I might be asking her to do too much right now. I think we might have to adopt a different strategy. I mean, really, what is the harm? She can just sleep here. Okay. Problem fixed. See, you hear that? These village dogs are amazing because they come from a part of Alaska that is so remote that you can't even get there with a car. So you actually have to fly in, and they end up down here in Anchorage for adoption. And that's what she is. She's from a remote Alaskan village. It's gonna be interesting to find out what she's made of. What do you guys think? I'm guessing maybe a little Chihuahua for sure. Not for sure. It's very much a faux pas to try to guess what a dog is by looking at them. As we saw with Chop, what was that? He turned out to be a lab mix. Could not believe that. I'll bet you there's definitely gonna be a surprise in her DNA. There always is with these guys. I mean, I'm tempted to just pass out right here. I have to try as a dog trainer, okay? I've gotta give it a test. I can't just assume that this is where she should be. So here we go. And sit up, Zach. Okay, that is how we address her underlying emotional issue. We didn't have to scold her, we didn't have to yell at her, which is really good. No discipline necessary. We just needed to address her emotional state, got her a little calm, and for now, she's relaxed. What do you think? Pretty good. Night one. I mean, it's tough on night one. That's pretty good. She woke up. She's chewing on her chew. So I have some of her chews in there because she doesn't seem too bothered by me talking right now, which is good. But this is why I have like 2 or 3 different safe chews inside her crate, so she has options if she does wake up and doesn't immediately want for something. And that's also something she enjoys doing, so we're hopefully getting a positive correlation with being in the crate by doing that. It's really kind of magical to watch when it works. I suppose the challenge sometimes is we don't know necessarily what to do to address the underlying issue. I mean, sometimes it's as easy as the dog is hungry or they have to go outside. Other times there's something that's making them more anxious. In this case, she's in a brand new place, I think is probably the simplest explanation. There's been a lot of variables, so we can just sum that up by saying change of environment. So we'll see if she starts to whine or if she settles back down. She just settled down. Okay. I was unconscious 6 seconds ago. Boy, I was out. Okay, what's happening? Would make a great soldier. Biscuits is awake again, and this time it seems like she actually needs something. All right, let's go see if she wants to go outside. So, this is Biscuits and me in the middle of the night in pitch dark Alaska in a freezing cold windstorm, trying to set a new world record for the fastest potty break. Mission accomplished. I didn't want to put her just straight back in the crate and have her cry. You can't sleep up here, girl. She made it like 4 hours in the crate, okay? But then we were too tired.
I don't blame you.
The learning curve when raising every individual puppy is different, and it's significant even for me. To my knowledge, Biscuits has never been in a proper city. And fortunately, Alaska does have one of those. I mean, just one, but that's all we need. She's gonna see a city for the first time, and it's going to become very apparent how much she has to learn over the next several weeks. I mean, we haven't even begun to get traction on potty training. We've got to deal with things like puppy biting, leash walking, sit down, stay, come, leave it, look at me, and all in the real world. I gotta go. You're not gonna wanna miss a single episode of this series, especially if you have a puppy, so make sure you're subscribed and click the bell to get notified every time we upload an episode. Check out Diggs Crates and Pup Box, two amazing products if you have a puppy. I'm gonna have their information in the description. Also, check out my book, Dog Training Revolution, or Guide to a Well-Behaved Dog, or both, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We'll see you next time.